I'm sure that YouTube's algorithm has served you up some interesting videos, hopefully things that you enjoy, maybe even this video by someone you've never heard of. YouTube's recommendation section is where I was greeted with a guy who was building his dream GameCube collection. Sounds cool, right? Well, yeah, it is. Except that's not the reality of what happened. Welcome to Phoenix Resale and the GameCube Scam. The first video I saw by Phoenix Resale was called My Brutal Quest for the Rarest GameCube Game. The video follows the hunt for a game called Pokemon Box. The title itself is what piqued my interest, as around that time I've been watching videos by Nick Robinson, including the video Can We Rescue a Deleted Pokemon 15 years after its death, which I assume is where the algorithm decided I'd be interested in Phoenix's quest for Pokemon Box. But the video was a part of a series of videos entitled the GameCube Gambit, which gained Phoenix a lot of attention at the time. But what exactly is the GameCube Gambit? The aforementioned episode about Pokemon Box was actually episode 17 of 25 in the series, but let's go back to the start of the series to get a full understanding of what it is all about. Rather than showing you nearly 5 minutes of explanation from Phoenix, I will break it down for you. Phoenix grew up with the Nintendo 64 and then the PlayStation 2, but never owned a GameCube, so wanted to create a game collection, but with a few conditions. Nothing is to be purchased online and nothing out of pocket, meaning that everything that is spent has to come from expected profit from other purchases. For example, if there's a Wii game that he predicts he could make $20 on when reselling, it would put $20 into the budget for the GameCube games. This also wasn't limited to video game stores. He could also buy things off other collectors or viewers even, which is what we'll talk about next. But first, I just want to clarify a few things. Firstly, it was later cut down to simply be called the GameCube collection of his childhood dreams, rather than the really long explanation. Along with this, he actually tested games on a GameCube of his own that he bought from Game Exchange, I believe, for the majority of the first half of the series to show that he was interested in what he was buying and was interested in trying them out, which went out the window for the second half of the series. Episode 8 of the GameCube Gambit is entitled He Traded His Entire GameCube Collection for My Switch, where he trades a Nintendo Switch for a large chunk of GameCube games, which was from a subscriber. The disparity between how much the games were worth and how much the Switch was worth isn't something that I'm going to display. If I did, they'd probably change by the time you watch this video because the market fluctuates a lot. But in short, it was a ripoff for the subscriber/viewer. It's a theme throughout the entire series and his channel as a whole that he gets good deals, or at least tries to get money off what he's paying for, which is to be expected if you're trying to complete a collection or resell items. There has to be some profit margin somewhere. Unfortunately, with the spewing of him trying to build the GameCube collection of his childhood dreams, people may have been more likely to give him better deals, but who really knows? Although there's a lot that could be analysed in regards to the Gambit itself, the true nature of the Gambit came to be realised afterwards. As the channel name suggests, Phoenix Resale resells games, and this alleged GameCube collection of his childhood dreams was no exception, although you wouldn't know that unless you were aware of his second channel, Renix Resale, where he made a video 16 days later called Selling Off My GameCube Collection. As you can imagine, the like to dislike ratio on the video isn't very good. I also think the top 4 comments on the video sum up the general consensus for how people felt about the video. They read, "The real losers are the viewers who gave him amazing deals because they just wanted to see him complete his GameCube collection. Absolute suckers. I guess even as a kid he dreamt of looking at a game on the shelf for a week before selling it on Amazon." I think people are upset because you are selling these games so soon after completing the GameCube Gambit. We were under the impression that you bought these games because you missed out on the GameCube experience during your childhood. We would have liked to see you spend some time playing the games and reviewing them, telling us why you are selling the ones you don't like. The fact that he got nearly 45k views and less than 2k likes shows exactly how your viewers feel. Your choice to sell more than half of your childhood must-have collection is based on lies and deception. Caleb is one of the shadiest YouTubers on the platform when it comes to buying from fans, so it's honestly no surprise that he would pull this shit. As the last comment said, he put more than half of the collection on the sell pile, as you can see by the thumbnail. You could very well say that it's fine, he literally has a resale in his name. It's obvious that he was going to do that. And while that has some validity, it wasn't how the series was portrayed. Even more, the first video that I watched in the GameCube Gambit, which I mentioned earlier, contained Pokemon Box, which isn't even featured in this video because it was already given away, as seen later in a video entitled Surprising My Friend with the Rarest GameCube Game. As has been for this whole video, the details are brief but hopefully enough to understand the issues that were raised and why they were seen as issues. Interestingly enough, a new series was created since then, a week of uploads entitled The PlayStation Project. And unlike the previous series, everyone seemed to understand the end goal of this series. It wasn't billed as the PlayStation collection of his childhood dreams or anything like that. The series wasn't met with the warmest of responses as you'd imagine, as the top 4 comments show and the like to dislike ratio also shows. Yes, let's start another series where we say we are collecting when in reality we're just flipping. I'm guessing he'll keep maybe 20% of them and sell off the rest. Can't wait for this collection to be sold the instant it's done. You should make a promise to actually play 5 to 10 of these games at the end in full and document your experience. Will probably help you win back the hearts of people who feel annoyed about the GameCube Gambit. The like to dislike ratio of the series definitely suffered as a result of the previously mentioned selling of the GameCube Gambit collection, which is understandable. The PlayStation Project didn't see any of the games played or much of a sense of wanting to keep anything, more than it's a goal of collecting 100 games in a week. And what happens past that is also explained to some extent, that there'll be an auction on whatnot at the end of the week's challenge. If people didn't know about what happened with the selling of the GameCube games, they definitely found out through the strange idea of the mystery GameCube box, where GameCube games from his collection were sold on whatnot to help fund the purchasing of the PlayStation games in the PlayStation Project. I think the PlayStation Project was honestly, as a whole, a solid series, and I think when the intentions of the series are transparent, it's not an issue. Although some people don't like how he goes about how he resells and buys and all that, that's not my place to comment on. But I feel like I can comment on this because it's about how the viewers feel, and I was a viewer of the series and quite invested in the GameCube Gambit. Thanks for watching this video, have a nice day, and I'll see you soon for more. Peace.